Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Paul Gorman. How are you today, Paul?
I'm great, Tracy. How are you doing?
Paul, I want to talk to you about your drill results. You had really two significant results that I'm sure you'd love to highlight for us.
We're very excited about it, and the reason why is because drilling for an industrial minerals company is the backbone to understanding your deposit. SRK Consulting has come in and shown us that in order for us to get our deposit to where we want it to be, our resource calculation to where we want it to be, these results had to be good. We came out 2 weeks ago with the results and they were fantastic. The intercepts were great, the grade was great, and it's meeting all the expectations that we had when we first endeavored on buying Lochaber back in May.
Well, can you be more specific about these drill results?
Yeah, I mean, most of the grade is showing plus 3 or 4%, up to 10%, which means that as a high-grade, low capex deposit at surface, we're able to go in, build a mine at surface and not have to go too deep. Our costs will be lower, our grade will be higher, and our costs going through to the customer will be much lower than the rest of our peer group.
For anyone out there in InvestorIntel audience land, Great Lakes Graphite has one of the best group of shareholders I've ever experienced in my life. In fact, you have like die-hard shareholders. Everybody I meet on Bay Street they're all shareholders of Great Lakes. Can you tell me why? Is it your personality, Paul, or is it the story?
I think it's the story. I think if you look at Great Lakes Graphite, you look at the Lochaber, you look at our team, you look at our customers, you look at the whole package, and then you look at where we're trading, how could you not love Great Lakes Graphite? We have the team, the infrastructure, we have the deposit that's now coming to a resource calculation. We have SRK Consulting doing all of our work, which is one of the most well-known groups out there doing all of the work for us. We've got a perfect storm right now brewing, and we think that graphite, we think that industrial minerals, we think that this world's about to explode with all the good news coming out at the macro level, and we're just focusing on what we need to do. And these shareholders have been behind us because they understand what we're doing, they understand our management team's capabilities, and most of all, they love the fact that graphite is going to be one of the major chemistries going into the new technologies in the new world.
Of course, I agree with you completely, but now what I'd really like you to do is just take a couple of minutes for those out there that may not be part of the very elite crowd that all own Great Lakes Graphite. Can you explain a little bit more about your infrastructure? Because it's my understanding that, you know, you can see your infrastructure is, what, 20 miles from Ottawa. Is that correct?
Yeah, the big joke is that you can have breakfast with the Prime Minister and be at the property by 9:30. So we're very close to Ottawa, only an hour away from Montreal. We're right on a major highway. We have infrastructure coming down from James Bay. So we've got the major power lines there. Water is not an issue. Environmental concerns aren't an issue. And because we've got a quarry right next to our property, we've got access to all of his equipment, and all of the permits that we'll need through the Quebec government are much easier, not easier from the fact that they're easier to get, just a shorter time period to actually ascertain.
And of course, another member of management, also Paul Ferguson. I would be remiss if I didn't, ask you, because he communicates this to me regularly and effectively, that what makes your site different is actually the type of graphite you have and the economics. Can you talk to me a little bit about this?
Yeah, and that's the reason why we acquired Lochaber last fall. Paul Ferguson's a bulldog, and he realized right away the opportunity with Lochaber. He realized that it had good flake, good particle size distribution, it had good grade, it had well over 22,000 feet of previous drilling. Why not take something that developed and put it into the stable of assets that we have inside of Great Lakes? So Paul did a great job in directing us that way, and we've been able to close that sale. And we've been able to actually move that project along a lot faster than we actually expected.
Of course, he's Boston-based, and one thing you have done is exceed all expectations and timelines. So what should we expect here moving forward in the next, say, 2 quarters?
We're moving this thing quickly ahead. We're looking at building out the resource very closely with SRK. SRK can then do flow sheet development and pit optimization. We're moving at 100 miles an hour. The good thing that we did is we looked very closely in December at what we were doing. The fact that we didn't have a consultant like SRK helping a small company like ours. We brought them in, and people say, well, now your resource calculation is taking a little bit longer. It's not. It's actually helping us use them to do our pit optimization, our flow sheet development, and underneath we're working with the customers to make sure that that material that we're building will have a significant impact on what they need going forward.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for the update. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thanks, Tracy. Thank you very much.